Planet Radio Free America, and this is Uncle Sam with music and the truth until dawn. Right now, I got a few words for some of our brothers and sisters in the occupied zone. The chair is against the wall. The chair is against the wall. John has a long mustache. John has a long mustache. It's 12 o'clock, Americans, another day closer to victory. And for all of you out there on or behind the lines, this is your song.
And welcome everybody to our daily gun show. Come to you live every weeknight at midnight Eastern, and we talk about guns for about an hour or more. If we can keep going, then we talk about guns all night long. We start off with Second Amendment, talk about guns. Ideally, if we could have a long show, if it was up to this co-host, we'd have a long show, and then the last hour of the show would be getting people ready for tomorrow. 3 things you ought to know, important news, calendar of events, things like that. All right, so thanks everybody for joining us live. We do go live at midnight so that we can have this time slot to ourselves, so we can spread out and we can go long format when we need to. On Mondays, we like to talk about activism, Second Amendment activists, motivation, inspiration, coaching, tech, how-to. And tonight we have a poll going over at the big YouTube channel. Posted that in a couple of different places to see what people would like to talk about tonight. Let's see, I guess I was saying though that we go live, and we do appreciate the interactive nature of the internet. So thanks to the people that are showing up. DJ was the first one in here earlier this evening when we first posted the show. Then G23 just showed up when we started getting ready for the chat here. Thanks for joining. Second thumbs up and first comment. So 2 pats on the head and a belly rubbing from G23. Thank you. Ron Wayne is out there. Also give him a pat on the head from that. Jacob, another pat on the head for that. Worthwhile Fun out there from Missouri. Pat on the head and a belly rub. Gizzard, pat on the head, ear flicker, and a belly rub. Thank you, George. Let's see, we've got Roy Munson out there. A little bit of a mouth rub and a pat on the head for that. What else we got going on? Oh, Chicago Mike. So give him a pat on the head, some ear scratches for that one, and belly rub. I don't think I'm missing anybody. If I'm missing anybody, let us know. That'll give a pat on the head and or a belly rub to the puppy. Let's get over and see what kind of poll situation we got going on over here. So we're going to bring up our other co-host, Sharon. Screen Sharon is going to join us here, and we'll go over to bring the puppy down to here, and we'll bring this over. So we had a couple of suggested topics. You can always suggest topics for the show. Leave them in the comments, and when we see them, we know what kind of things people are interested in talking about. So tonight we had the robot campaign. We are trying to raise funds for a robot. We're trying to buy Alan Anker's 15 color embroidery machine off of them so we can add that to the inventory and get back into the patch making mode like we've been in the past. And it's an expensive machine, so we're trying to raise funds for the machine itself, travel over to California to see it in use before they tear it all down. We put it in the van, bring it back here to Arizona, set it back up again, and start making stuff with it. So that was the first one. Nobody voted for that one. So we're not talking about it, I guess. Then we've got Ask Gun Questions, or Ask AK-47 questions specifically. Came in last at 15, well, second to last at 15%. The puppies, 31%. I kind of figured that one might get more votes, but coming in second is pretty decent, I guess. Thinking about it, I think Ann was actually saying, Anne Marie was saying about how she didn't know who Mello was. So Mello is a girl dog, and we'll talk about the story of Mello, little bacon bit right here, and then the other dogs, because there's always been dogs around. But the thing that won was 2A gun history, and guess what? That is an old image of. What is that an old image of? It's the first. I guess it even says on there, but if people can tell by looking at it from our projects and stuff, what that image is, that's one of the things I need to go update. And I'm thinking that's what I'm going to do with season 8 of this show, is turning it into a live workshop, because not that many people show up to the show anyway. And I can't imagine you're showing up to this show unless, one, you're awake in the middle of the night for some reason. 2, you're a Second Amendment activist and you have a night shift. Or 3, I don't know, like you're in a hospital or something and they left the TV on and you don't know how to change the channel and you can't get up. But I'm still going to do the show. So, puppy update. He turned around. So still going to do the show, but I'm going to use it, I think, to get some work done on the projects out there, because I just don't have time anymore to do the projects and the show. And I don't want to necessarily give up either one. So we'll just work on update the projects during the show. And we've done things before that ran the show into the ground. We'll see if it runs the show into the ground or not. Let's see. So I was just popping in to say hello. So I guess I will, what do you call it? I will mention what's going on with the puppies then. So if you head over to the actual gun website, there is an actual website and everything. We go over there and look at it. And then you go to the About Us page. Let's see, somewhere in here. Oh, you know what? Is it here? No, it's not here. But if you go to the Gun Show Loophole Tour page, that's where it is. I guess I could put it on the gun websites page. I just never have. But if you head over to this site, the Gun Show Loophole Tour, we've got a page here about the crew and about our puppies. So we can use this page to explain the puppies. All right, so I don't have anything in here that's new, so I guess I could update that right now, actually. So let's update that right now. Here's how you update it. You refresh. Oh, I guess I need to go back one. I need to log in. So first we're logging into the WordPress, which is the infrastructure, the format behind the show there. I'm going to click on plugins and update this one right away. It's always a good idea to update them plugins. Now we're going to go back to that page, and we can just navigate to it normally. About the tour, and then go to dogs right here. And we'll edit this page, because now there's another dog that I have to even put in here. So I never even got Mello put in here. And now we'll put in, what's this dog's name? Bit. All right, so we'll put in November of 2022. And then when the heck did we get Mello? That's the question. So the story of Mello is she's a girl dog, and she is, come on, man, why don't you just go italics on me? She is a girl dog, and she is unknown breed. So let's get a picture of her in here. We're going to upload a file of her. I just happened to have made some cartoons of the puppies for the patches that we're working on. So I just went and I navigated to that file and I uploaded it into this page. And that's a picture of her, kind of. That's, she's some sort of, I'm going to call her a, oh man, what are they called? A Swiss Shepherd, I think is what she is. She's either that or she's some kind of Russian wolf who just ran over here when there was a land bridge. And, because she doesn't look like a regular Australian or Swiss Shepherd. Swiss Shepherds look like German Shepherds that are all white, right? And that's what she kind of looks like. But she's got a pink nose because she's a girl. And every other thing I've seen, these dogs have a black nose. So I don't know if she's just a weirdo and has a pink nose, or if she's always getting into other people's business and she's got a pink nose from it. But she's got a pink nose, and that's why I'm not sure what she is. But she's not an albino. She doesn't have weird eyes or nothing. She just has normal eyes that are blue, and she's pretty good. So here's the deal. So I was minding my business, and there was these people from gun channels that had a bunch of dogs, and Mello was over there. They had found her roaming the streets. She just came from the streets. They found her roaming the streets, and they, they kept her, whatever, so that she would have a home. And she was the lowest dog on the totem pole out of like 9 dogs or something in the backyard of these people's house. And she was hanging out, and at one point they got into a big fight in the backyard, and Mello got sick of it and bit this one dog in the neck. So they figured it's probably not a good idea to have her around with these other dogs being mean to her all the time, because she's sick of it and she's not taking it no more. So I went over there and I was like, oh yeah, this dog's pretty good. So brought her home that night. And wait, did I bring her home that night? I think I just brought her home that night, and she's been over here since then. So, or soon after. I don't remember when I picked her up. I'm trying to think. Was that 2017? I don't remember. Who knows when Mello came around. I think it might have been 2017. I'd have to go backwards through like Instagram or YouTube or something. Because unlike, I'd been lectured that I should not have dogs on the internet, especially not on my YouTube channels and stuff. Was that, I want to say October, but I could be wrong. It could have been October of 2017, so I'm going to put a question mark there. But in any case, so she's a dog that was found living on the streets, and then she got taken by people who were being nice to her, but then they had a whole bunch of dogs, and Mello got sick of being there. So they got in a big fight, and Mello won the fight, and they were like, this dog's too awesome. She's going to win the fight and kill all these other dogs probably. So then I went over there and got her, and oh, no, wait a minute. It had to be 2014. I think it was 2014. Holy shit, was it that long ago? No, 2017, yeah. Oro was 13 years old. It was in 2013. So I think Oro was 2005. I think, to 2017, something like that. So Oro was a Doberman. Well, is a Doberman, was a Doberman. He's gone now. But whenever we first started all this stuff, I was still doing websites and stuff. Yeah, so Oro's from like 2015 or 2005. And then I only had, well, actually I had 3 dogs back then. We had Seven and Bubba. So Bubba's been around for a long time. He comes from the deserts. No one knows where Bubba comes from. I just found him out in the desert one time. And that would have been in like, let's just say 1994. There's no way to know. And then Bubba stuck around until, I have to think about it for a while. But Bubba's a little dog back in the day. All right. Oh, snap. Thanks for the super chat. Much appreciated. We got some patches headed out, so that'll help pay for the shipping straight to you. So thanks for that. So Bubba was around for a long time, and I found Bubba out in the desert. We were out drag racing that Impala, and found him out in the desert and brought him home. He was an awesome dog. Then at one point, my one friend's had a Rottweiler and a German Shepherd, and them 2 dogs had puppies, and that was 7, and he must have been, I don't know, let's just say 1997 or 8. It's probably, I don't remember. Let's just say something like this, because I can't remember. I'd have to think about it. So then 7 came along. 7 was freaking awesome. 7 was the best dog ever. So 7 was born in my living room, and then I got to keep whichever one I wanted, and because they brought him over because they were afraid the dad was going to eat him. So she started having babies. They brought him over, and he was born in the living room, and then just kept him, and he never left. He was born in that house. Anyhow, uh, Seven was pretty awesome. Had Bubba and Seven for a while, and then eventually got Seven's dad, and some other dogs came and went. But these were my two dogs for a long time. And these are the kind of dogs you didn't need on leashes for, nothing. They just did whatever and hung out. They're very much concert, let's say, hippie dogs. They're very much hippie dogs. So then at some point, they were still around. Bubba was an old dog. Seven was a medium dog. And then came along Oro in 2005. So I guess, yeah, Bubba was pretty old. I found him when he was already a dog, way past being a puppy. He was just a dog when I found him. And then Seven was a little baby. So he was about medium when Oro came along. So now they had a little puppy, Oro. And Oro outlasted him, of course. So he lasted 13 years. And for a long time, I just had one dog, Oro. He was awesome. And Oro's dad was a breeding dog, like a champion from Yugoslavia that was coming along on some kind of tour where they take a stud along on a tour, and then people essentially pay to have their dogs breed with it. So the guy here in Tucson had two of his dogs breed with that Yugoslavian 2004 champion. And long story short, I ended up with two of them. I took one, my friend took the other one. They were cousins. One came from one girl dog, one came from the other girl dog, and those girl dogs were cousins. They had the same mom, but different dads. And yeah, those two dogs were best friends for a long time, and then they hate each other because they're Dobermans, and they loved each other for a long time, and then they hated each other for a long time. But that was pretty fun having two Dobermans. Let's see, and then we had the cop car for Oro most of the time. I had the El Camino for a while, and then traded the El Camino in for a truck. Had the truck with Bubba and Seven for a long time, and then the truck got ruined. I guess I don't have the truck in here, but then got the first van with Oro, and then got the second van, and Oro got to drive around in it. And then Mello's been driving around the van since, and now a little bit thinks he can go in the van anytime he wants to. So that's the dogs. So now we got this one, little baby dog, and everybody at the 2A rally this week claim to be experts on pugs say that Bit is a little baby still. So I wasn't quite sure if he's still a baby or not. Let's take a look at him. Because he's got wrinkles here. Old people have wrinkles, you know what I'm saying? And his tail's too long, right? Everybody can agree on that. And I don't know if his feet are good or not. Look at his feet, right? Look at his ears. I don't know if it's supposed to be good or not. Well, according to a bunch of ladies that were petting him and saying how good he is, he's supposedly in really good proportions for one of these things. All right, so we're going back over to here. All right, so now we can go back to view page, and essentially we stuck Bit in there. We stuck Mellow in there, so now it's up to date. We got some time frames in there. Now Charlie is when we started the Daily Gun Show. That's because Bob came down here to hang out in Arizona, and we were driving around doing the Daily Gun Show and driving around. And this is a dog that there was just a family enjoying their time together in their backyard. And then this crazy Canadian ran in there. He probably had his shirt off, and he ran into the backyard making all kinds of Canadian noises or whatever they do. And the family was, of course, startled and tried to protect their children or whatever. And then Bob grabbed their dog and ran out of their backyard, yelling and screaming. And then that's how he got Charlie. And so that's the custom or the tradition in Canada, from what I understand. That's how they steal dogs from innocent families. And then Bob used to go around, and Oro and Charlie were friends. You can see here's a picture of Oro. It looks like he's biting them, but I think he's just sniffing them. Let's see. I think Bob still got Charlie up there. Bob's had a couple other pups too. And yeah, that's a very long story of the gun website's animals. There's some other ones. Right now, there are in the greater gun website shooting team family. We all have dogs. So there are, okay, starting in order, there are a little weird dog. I don't know what it is, but he's a little dog and he hangs out with Bit and they go walking all the time. Then there are their ants, which are tiny little dogs that they know and they go hang out in their backyard. Then there are the pit bulls, which they can't play with. Mello could probably play with the pit bulls, but she hasn't. She hasn't gone over there in a long time. I don't know if Bit's never been over to the pit bulls. So one of the dudes has a bunch of pit bulls, and they're not little, and they definitely, you don't need football gear, but you definitely need to be ready to play with them pit bulls. Then you get the other ones, and I don't even know how many dogs are over there. Let's just say many. And now there's a new puppy over there. So these dogs play with at least a dozen dogs just from their friends and family. And then they go to different places like this event this weekend. And both of them could care less about other dogs for the most part, unless they're hanging out with that dog for a little while, and then they'll play with the dog. But neither one of them sniffs other dogs or pays attention to other dogs. So they're pretty good as far as dogs go. And they never make any noise or anything. This guy makes some noises once in a while, but his noises are tiny. Anyway, so there you go. There's the, I'll put a link in here for our puppy page. And again, I apologize to all the people out there that understand how horrible it is for us to talk about puppies on a show that's about Second Amendment and guns and stuff. All right, so the main topic tonight, though, is going to be gun history. And I don't know if anybody, let's see, what else do we got out there? Let's get some puppy pettings in here. Let's just catch up again. Chicago Mike, I believe there was a puppy pat on the head and a belly rubbing for that one, and maybe some ear scratchings. Anne Marie was saying from drinking a pot of coffee a day. I don't know. I've been drinking 2 a day, and I end up blasting through this show. For a while there, I was crashing mid-show, but I don't think coffee is the way to do it. I stay up way too late drinking the coffee. That being said, I'm drinking coffee right now. But I have a lot of projects I'm working on right now, so I'm blaming that. But I get you. There's definitely people. Let's just include people that are up at night because they want to be. People are up at night because they got to be. And people are up at night because they're burning the candle at both ends, either because they want to or they just dig it, I guess. All right, so thanks again to Barbecue. Give the puppy a pat on the head, a chin wiggle, an ear scratch, and a belly rub for Barbecue. Let's see, Emery is saying, if I give, is it possible if I give you a picture, would you make it a patch? I'm thinking about this March, I could try. I don't know, but I mean, I can try. So sure, feel free to email it or whatever. This puppy's cute. I don't know. I've been told this puppy's cute, but look how many wrinkles he has. Can it be cute with wrinkles all over it? I was thinking about ironing his face, getting him a facelift, some Botox. His face will be puffier, and then some straightening, right? Maybe some hairspray. We'll figure it out. We'll make him beautiful. Woods is out there, so we'll give this dog a scratch on the head, a chin wiggle, one of these eye things that you rub on their eyes like this, then one of these ear scratchings, then a neck rub, and a belly rub, and a butt rubbing. That's from Woods. Did I already give one from Gizzard? I gave one from George before. Gizzard will give this dog a head rub, a skin rub, or a skin yank. I'll call it a skin yank. And then a back ladder, whatever we call this, going down and making sure all the vertebrae are still there. And a butt poke. That's from Gizzard. Ron Wayne, did I already give Ron Wayne? Give him a pat on the head. Oh, Smeggy's out there. Well, we got to give him one from Zig and bunch of this and a little bit of this action. All right, that's enough. That's too much for this dog. He might actually wake up from this much rubbing. The puppies are better. They had their cough, and then they got rid of their cough, and then that was right in the middle of their, what do you call, like the gap between their shots. So they finally went back and cost a bunch more money. The only thing left is this dog insists on having something going on with this ear. There's something going on in this ear that he's always itching it. So I've come up with some ear stuff that I pour in here on a regular basis. And eventually we'll cure that ear business that he's got going on. Do the dogs fight over the bones? No, but that's a good reminder. I was going to give this dog a bone. What they do is they eat the bones, and they're like, let's say there's 3 bones laying there. Here's how it works. You know how this works. This is the bone that one of them's eaten, so this is the bone that everybody wants. They don't necessarily fight over it. They just look at each other until they quit touching it, and then the other one grabs it, and then the other one's butt hurt. The other one will be laying on top of 2 bones, being butt hurt that the other bone was stolen from it. So the problem is that Poopy here used to poop all over the place, and one of the times he pooped all over the place, yeah, see, he's embarrassed by it. He pooped all over the place right on some bones, and that's the last bones they had here. And I haven't pulled any out from the freezer since then, so that has been a while. So I'll probably pull out some bones. I was actually thinking about that the other day. I was boiling the bones when he was sick to get the marrow out of them. So they had a bunch here that didn't have any insides to them, and they're less interested in them if there's no insides in them. All right, so getting back into gun history, which is the topic for tonight, I guess. We're going to head back over here, put the little puppy monitor over here so everybody can see that the puppy is indeed still the co-host, and he's hard at work monitoring the show from his little bed thing. Let's get over to what we're calling Minuteman University. So in 2015, I was the new media dude for Arizona Citizens Defense League, a volunteer position that I had volunteered to do for free. And one of my goals was to create some awareness, because even in 2015, I could tell that audience awareness alone doesn't get things accomplished. There has to be some call to action or something that people can do, and some I was still actually grasping for what was needed, because I was still trying to figure it all out. In 2015, I knew that things were important, and I knew that there was a lot going on, but there was no map. There was no guide to it. So I thought, hey, what if we started doing some kind of map or some kind of guide to let people know as activists what options are on the table and what's already been done and what works and what doesn't and what might need to be done, that kind of thing. So to that end, we kind of strategized and came up with the idea of the Minuteman University project, which was a way to inform those folks who are the gun lobby, everybody, us, right? The regular people, everybody who just has some interest. And here's the thing. Do you need to know everything, or do you need to know where to find the information? Right? You don't need to have everything memorized. As long as you know where to get the information, you just have to remember where that is and how to gather it, right? And hopefully the information is useful when you get there. And honestly, if it's not, then you just find someplace else that is. So as long as you've got some idea of, some resources, then you're able to be effective, and you don't have to go around, changing your whole lifestyle and becoming an activist constantly or anything. You can just be an activist effectively when necessary. A Minuteman, right? The people who would take up arms when necessary to do what was necessary and then go back to doing whatever they did. And with just a simple system for that, it's possible to set that up. So in this case, what we're talking about is skills and resources for Second Amendment activists and advocates. So plenty of people are active and plenty of people advocate. And some people are both, and some people are one or the other, right? So we're going to try to offer resources for both. I've only ever done half of it. I'm still working on this. It's a work in progress for the last 7 years. And the skills is pretty much lacking. We've done a lot of talking about the skills. And I did build the part out on how to put online stuff together. That I can do in my sleep, and I did. So we have how to build websites, how to get online, how to do social projects, how to use your phones and your cameras and that kind of stuff. That we have endless content on. For years, we were doing that kind of content with gun channels for 7 years, and for just the gun channels came from that interest in helping people do this fun stuff online, right? So we have that, but the communication part is lacking. The communication part is a big part of this whole project. But in order to have effective communication, you have to know the subject. So we really started, or at least I focused first on the resources side of it. And this has been a fun project, and it's been a massive project. So if we look over here on the right, the resources include 3 sections: firearms law, the gun owners' rights lobby, the people on our side, and then the industry, what we're talking about, the guns, the sports, the hunting, the history, the ammunition, the stuff, right? The firearms industry itself, the people who defend that industry, and then just firearms in the United States. Let's say that firearms law in the United States includes things like federal and state laws, the court cases, all the different bans and import restrictions that we've had. It covers the various law enforcement that are involved with firearms. It involves what's involved in owning a firearm, which you can see is quite a few things involved with just owning a firearm. What's involved with carrying a firearm, and there's quite a few things involved with carrying firearms. What's involved with buying or making firearms, and there's actually quite a few things involved with buying or making firearms. All of this section, come on, I can't get it to click good. All of that section is buying or making. And then we have the firearms that are registered as NFA items, and the guns that are in flux, the guns that are having their definitions changed recently. Under the gun owners' rights lobby, we have the groups, of course. We've got some information like state firearms. That's what we're going to be looking at right now. We've got the events like rallies. We have the yearly calendar of events, the things that happen in the industry and in the sports, and then in hunting, and then in the community. We've got activists, the people that created the groups. We've got the authors and the publishers. We've got the radio show hosts. We've got researchers, famous females, the fashion show, the DC Project. Got attorneys and politicians. I have a focus in here on the generations of Second Amendment. And then we've got a chunk here devoted to the prohibitionists and the anti. Not a lot of it, but in order to understand the whole thing, you got to know who and why these people are going against us. And then it gets into the industry, and I try to cover as much of the industry as possible. So this is almost everything in here has been done with workshops. I used to do 2A media workshops on Tuesdays and just work on these projects every Tuesday and offer and do this sometimes mostly live, but sometimes just offer links to the off-air stuff while I was doing this stuff. And people that wanted to know about the topic or how to update a website would just join in and be part of the digging in, the doing the research, and then creating the stuff. So some of this stuff needed some graphics, some of it needed some illustrations, some of it just needed some digital editing or whatever to get some consistent artwork or whatever. And like I said, to show people how to use the software, to show people how much work there is in it and how little work there is in it. A lot of this isn't difficult. It's just time consuming. And the idea is to lay down a lot of this work so that it doesn't have to be done again. There's stuff on Wikipedia, but it needs to be found, and it doesn't all link to each other. So this is essentially a wiki. It's a resource for, all these different elements, and it's not super fancy. I don't change the layout very often. I don't try to keep up with all the fanciest ways to run a website or to lay it out. I'm not trying to impress anybody with it. It's really just here to exist and hopefully be found by search engines and ideally be useful. So one of the ways I have to make it useful, one of the things we need to do is make sure that it's actually current and accurate. So we don't have a crew, and I don't have AI doing that. But I do have no ability to spell and type when I'm talking. So let me spell things right here. We're going to go ahead and log into this site. Same way we log into any WordPress site by logging in. All right. Well, yep. And then do whatever updates it needs updated. And then get back to that page that we were on, which was State Firearms. All right, so it turns out there's a 9th state firearm. Do you know which one it is? That's what we're going to be working on tonight. So it might be what I start doing on the show in the evenings. Like I say, if people want to participate and jump in and make it a talk show, I'm down with that. I'm still going to be working on these projects, but I need to do some updates to the websites and keep them current and useful. And I just don't have time to do that during the day anymore. So I'm thinking about doing that during this show. Oh, let's see. Got 2 male Akitas, 140 pounds each. They have never fought. I don't need to memorize anything, just where to get the info. Yep. I've heard stuff on something about 2A with both. Oh, Minuteman. Yep. Right on. Hopefully it's useful. One of the things that we talked about in the beginning was also having some kind of cards or some kind of things that could be printed maybe, and something that could be printed, and then that way people could have that with them and use it for conversations, or I don't want to say arguments because we're not there to have arguments. So it looks like there is a 9th. If we go to the Wikipedia, which is always right about everything, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we did miss one. For whatever reason, it doesn't let you list them, but in May of 2021, Texas, Colt Walker, Texas. So we're going to grab that, head over here, edit this page, and scroll down a bit until we find... Oh man, don't I not have them listed? I just have the image in here. So that's the kind of stuff that happens. I can't deal... Oops, what's going on here? I can't deal with it this zoomed in. Sorry for everybody that's looking like this. It's just I can't see anything that's going on the page. I have to zoom it back out a little bit. All right, so I guess I never even had the states listed here. So let's correct that. I'll put a bullet point in and add this. So we can say May 21. We'll get rid of that link and we'll move Texas over to the front. So Texas, well, let's see. Let's not do that. Let's undo it a couple of times. And then we go May 21, Texas. And then how about equals Colt Walker? Get rid of that link. And there we go. So now we can just hit enter on front of it. Enter. There we go. All right. So now I get to open up. Adobe Illustrator, best software on the planet. And got this graphic to fiddle with, and I got this graphic to fiddle with. So that's two things. Pain in the butt. But this is 2 years ancient already, and that means my book is ancient too. It's frustrating. I guess it's good if you're going to update the book every year for book sales, but it's not if you're trying to keep everything current. And that's why, let's see, I guess I need to go navigate to where that might be. Let me go try to find this on another screen because I got to figure out where that stuff is going to be. Where is that stuff going to be? All right, well, this is probably 2022 even more maps. All right, well, this one says February 22. I'm going to open up February 22 and let's see what we get with February 22. Obviously, a lot of them in here. So we're going to zoom in and find state guns or something. Oh, maybe I don't even have it on this one. Oh yeah, state firearms. Here we go. So got to go down here, and so a couple of things I can do. Try to click on it. I can't. So everything's locked. So here's state firearms, and here's the one I missed. All right, so this is state firearms. I'm going to unlock it, unlock it, unlock it, unlock it, unlock it, add those two, and then grab all of this, right? Copy it, go to File and New. You're allowed to do this. Just create a new one. It doesn't matter what it's called. Paste, right? Scroll in. Oh, what did I do wrong? So I missed something. Go find these again. State firearms. So where is that outline at? It's got to be something that's lit up. So it's not that. All right, well, so we got this outlined somewhere. Let's make sure. Okay, it is in here. So something in here is locked. So we're going to unlock that. And now we're going to copy all of this. Copy, go back over here, highlight everything, delete it, and paste. And that's a lot better. Okay, now we can come in, go to here, tell it to be this color, right? Go to the 8th, copy and paste, put that there, and make that 9th. So that one wasn't as hard as you would have thought. And now export as, and then essentially just go over to my, oops, no, not SVG, let's make that a PNG. Go over to my list of maps here, find the one that's called State Firearms, and we'll call this one State Firearms 3 because it's already been a couple of updates to it. And then export, and we're gonna, looks like we got an issue. So we'll cancel that for now, and we're gonna zoom back out, and we're gonna see that this still exists. So we're gonna kill that and export. Go back down, find wherever they are again. State Firearms 3. All right, and then export that with the white background, and there we go. So now we know that there are really 9 states that have a state firearm, and now we can go to this, click it, say edit, and replace. Go back to the computer, find this folder, find State Firearms 3, and upload that one. And then go to the State Firearms whatever and delete permanently. Now it's not even on the server anymore. Oops. It's not even on the server anymore, and no one will hopefully find that one. Oh, let's see what's going on over here. Okay, Emery is saying got to scoot. Yeah, no worries. We're up late. Got to scoot. Listen in the morning. All right. Agri's saying I'm going to ask my Missouri State rep to propose the braced pistol for us. Oh, you're saying for your state pistol. Nice. Or your state rifle. The Kentucky long rifle. Yep. Woods is saying printed cards has always been a good idea. Maybe a QR code to Minuteman if you don't like that. I don't know. I mean, if I'd like to, I'm kind of thinking now that got demonetized, I might start looking out for some sponsorship for the stuff because it's just killing me trying to work on this stuff. And it was tough enough trying to sneak time to work on things. But if it's going to be a decent resource, you got to have time to spend on it. Things like this that aren't updated 2 years later, that's not fair to anybody who's trying to use it as a resource because it's not a good resource. All right, so the first thing we got in here was we put a bullet point in. Now we've changed the picture. So I'm going to hit update. But now, I guess from that picture, I can figure out what the other ones are. But I'm going to cheat and I'm going to look for this picture somewhere. So I probably made that in Illustrator also, or I'm almost positive I did. So we can save this file as, and we'll all right, so we're going to go here and we're going to save it as State Law Maps February 23, and we're calling it February 3. All right, so now we're just saving that file just to save it. So just in case we ever need to edit that again, or hopefully we have to edit it again soon. The other file, I'm saying close it without changing anything. And now we'll see if the one from the 50 states of 2A. So is it going to be in here? No. Is it going to be in, oh no, there's the 50 states. So there's the 50 states project. State gun law. Oh no, this is the same thing I was just in. Okay, so state gun law maps. No, that's this. State map? No. 50 states at 2A. Let's see what this has in it. So we'll turn all these layers on. So that's just a mess. That was some sort of layout for the book or something. So now I'm in the problem with a lot of things when you're a couple of years after trying to figure out which file it is. So it's probably not in this one. It's probably in, it's not in there. So maybe it's in here under 2A library and nope. Oh wait, maybe it is in here. Here it is. Duh, I'm looking in the wrong place. So resource handbook stuff. Let's see if this file is going to be a giant file with what we're looking for in it. No. Dang it. Nope. Nope. All right. Puppy update. Puppy's getting antsy. I don't know what's going on with him. He's not happy that it's taking me this long to find files. One of my problems is I have a lot of files, so I'm getting to where I need to organize better. So I'm thinking about spending some real time organizing some stuff. All right, so I finish. Washington should be something from Aero Precision. Worthwhile Fun is saying that whatever, that I'm in Missouri too. Volunteer state director for the DC Project, Women for Gun Rights, Anti-Red Flag Gun Seizure Act bill getting a hearing this Wednesday, 8 a.m. Oh, thanks for that. So let me see. I wish they had a bigger platform for getting word out and stuff like that. But let's take that and poke around with that. So we're going to open up. I'm assuming you're on the YouTube side or the Big Gun channel side. So we're going to go over here and see the comments. Wait, is my internet that slow? Has it been breaking up tonight? It seems like it's pretty slow. I have the other computers turned off. So. Ron Wayne's taken off. Good evening. All right, so I'm getting there. Oh, we're still showing the puppy. Let's go back to here. Wow, he's taking forever. Wait, is my internet that slow? It's been breaking up tonight. It seems like it's pretty slow. I have the other computers turned off. Shut that off. All right, so now. Okay. Let's see. The Anti-Red Flag, 8 a.m., Surrey State Laws General Committee. So now we can go over to the Instagrams. Or this isn't Instagram. We'll go over to the YouTubes. Wow. All right, time to shut stuff down. When the stuff is taking this long, it could be the browser easily. It could be my Adobe. I basically need to change this file, and I got to figure out. Oh, I might be looking for something in vain. So yeah, let's go ahead and just close Adobe. I'm not going to find what I was looking for in Adobe because that doesn't exist. This was made in a different folder file. We're going to, we already grabbed this copy. We can close that. We can go to our channel. Go to the community tab. Very powerful tool. The community tab is one of the most powerful tools you have on YouTube. So we're going to paste the comment because I'm lazy. So I just pasted Susan's comment. Anti-Red Flag Gun Seizure Act bill getting a hearing this Wednesday, 8 a.m. in Missouri State Laws Committee, right? And then I'll just go back to open a new tab over here. This is really taking forever. So I'm going to update that page. Close it. So now I've saved for the work I was doing on my website, closing my other instance of the website. I don't know why this is open, so I'm closing this. I have Gilded open. That's a massive resource suck, so I'm closing it also. And now we're back on YouTube. Let's see. I was looking for... Oh, no, I can't do it from here. Oh, no, maybe I can. Let's find out. So we're opening up this video in the other channel. Oh, there's Barbecue Super Chat. Thanks for that. Oh, I guess I can't because guess what? Susan's not commenting on that channel. So we're going to go back over to here. Open up the thing. That's just the glitch of having the show broadcast or simulcast, I guess, on 2 different channels. So eventually jump this open and pause it. I don't know why it just keeps going to autoplay all the time. I think that if I pause it, it would open up to paused. Really all I want is glitch of having the show Susan's channel. So I'm going to go up here and then this take it forever. Let's see, sometimes if you click on home, see what happened when it opened up, it went to blah, 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 blah up here, right? Like if I refresh, I'll show you that again in a second, but first I want to go like this. And you can just start typing. There you go. All right, so now we got the link to the channel, the @ link or whatever that hyper link to the channel is, the information that's going to be happening on Wednesday, right? Now I can copy that and I can just post it right now because there's nothing wrong with letting people know about it right now. And then you see what that does is leaves a link to Susan's channel right there. All right, but what we can also do is paste that same data, that same insight, and then now let's go back to here, open up that channel. I'm going to squish my channel or my browser. See how I'm squishing the browser like this? And what that'll do is just make this look more like a square, essentially. Now I'm going to do a print screen. So I just print screened once. Now I'm going to push it back out again. Go over here, and I'm going to add an image to this time. So here's a bunch of images that I'm just going to right-click on any of them and say Edit, and then I'm going to paste, and that just pastes my screen capture. There's the screen capture. I'm going to zap it down a little bit so I can see it. I'm going to grab that much of it because YouTube kind of likes a square. Crop it. Bring it out because YouTube likes a square. Do something like that and bring it down like that. Then let's make this way bigger, right? It's easy enough to take one of these little deals and go like that. And if you're going to do that, you might as well, do that twice right away. And then you just take that same color, do the outside, take a different color, and do the inside. And then save that as some name, doesn't matter. I mean, you could name it so that you can find it in the future. I don't. And then grab that image that you just created somewhere. Where did it go? Where did it go? Dang. So I left it somewhere. So file edit or file save as. And I don't know why it's not showing up. So let's cancel. Go to downloads. What's going on? All files? Weird. So I don't know why it's not. What did I just save that thing as? Anyhow, so now I'm going to save it with that image that we just created. And then I'll schedule this one for, what, Wednesday morning? You're going to be there at 8. 8 a.m. in Missouri. So 8 a.m. in Missouri is probably something like 6 a.m. here. So that means I got to set it for like 5 a.m. And then that'll go off on Wednesday just to let people know that Susan's out there getting stuff done. So if we go to here and open up this again, open up the same video that we're in this other window. Go to here and open up this again. Come on, man. Why do you keep starting? I'm going to mute it and pause it. And you would think the next time it opens something. Let's see. I'll be heading up to testify in support. And then boom, boom. Okay, copy and paste. Come on, man. And then I can just say for, see, super easy. And then schedule that thing for 5 a.m. on Wednesday. So now I've got one in here. I can edit that real quick. For heading up to testify. And I'll just go ahead and cut that, cancel that, delete this one because nobody's looked at it yet anyway. Paste it again, or post it again with just by pasting it there, but this time let's find out what I did to that image. I don't know what I did. So I'll save as. I saved it as a PNG, so I don't know what's wrong with that, why it's not finding it, but whatever, now it's finding it, so there we'll put it in. So we have this one just fired off right now, and then one will go off on Wednesday. And between now and Wednesday, I'll have a whole bunch of other stuff in the way, so it won't look like two posts of similar right back to back. This is the most powerful thing. One of the most powerful things you got on YouTube is the community tab. I have 114 things scheduled. I found out that you can only schedule 100 things in a 24-hour period. But you can see this is all of next year. This stuff is scheduled out to December of 2023. Have things go out periodically. Have things go out that you want to remind people about. Have things go out that chat your stuff up. You know, you're allowed to point to your own projects and your own accomplishments and your own stuff in your channels. Ask questions, do interactive stuff. I don't know of any limit on how many things you can put in your community tab. Definitely you put out your own stuff scheduled, and then as you go through and add a poll like this kind of randomly, alerts for a new show or something, shouting out other people's stuff, then it just, your feed doesn't become any one thing. Your feed ends up being very multifaceted because ahead of time you've added some facets to it. And these things get fired off just like videos, and not everybody's using it. So it's not like it's a secret recipe or a secret button or anything, but it is a very powerful tool. You lay stuff down on one of the largest search engines out there. So for stuff like this, to get the word out and to help folks who are doing real work, super good. All right, so we're an hour in. I don't get any work really done when I'm doing it this way, but you get a taste of what I'm going to be working on over here. I'm going to go through and continue to update some of the stuff on the Minuteman site while I've still got some coffee in me tonight. Let's see if some people are already checking out. We do got quite a few people here tonight still, or this late, still in there. So if you want to chat about any of the other topics we were going to talk about tonight, well, I guess it's kind of late to talk about. We've already talked a bit about the robot. Nobody wanted to talk about that anyway, I guess. And we talked a bit about the dogs. And we spent a little bit of time working on specifically the state firearms. I feel bad that when I put that thing together, I didn't even put Texas in there. I think I put it together, and like 5 minutes later, Texas passed that thing and made the Walker their gun. And of course, the Walker is one of our patches. So they probably said, oh, he's made a patch. Gear website's already made a patch for the Walker. We might as well make it our state gun. Pretty sure that's how it went down. So kind of feel bad that it took this long to update it, but it's been bugging me, so I'm updating it tonight. Hillbilly Up is in Missouri. Why do I always think you're in Tennessee, dude? I keep thinking you're in Tennessee. So right on. Thanks for that. Oh, and since Hillbilly's in here, give the dog a petting. Give her a back rubbing since he wiggled around the other way. All right. Agorizer. I think I was saying it right. Agorizer, right? I don't know what it is. Have you ever said what that's all about? What that name came from? All right. Well, with that, I think we're wrapping it up. I don't like talking to myself, and we kind of gave you a sample of what I'm going to be working on tonight. And it's pretty boring to just watch somebody do stuff. If I had some more things to do that were a little bit more interesting, I might keep going. But I just got some nerd stuff to plow through tonight. So first, I got to find that file, and that's super boring watching me find my files on here. I've also, like I say, been really, really, really tempted to spend a little time sorting folders and sorting some photos and stuff for some bigger projects, but I just don't know if tonight's the time to do it. Let's end tonight then by talking about some of the stuff we've got on the horizon. I ended up posting quite a few shows tonight, this afternoon. Tomorrow morning we've got the Gun Channel's coaching channel or show that me and Clover have been doing. We're going to be talking about crowdfunding. This is our 37th crowdfunding project on Indiegogo, and we did a whole bunch over on Kickstarter too. And we made even more money on Kickstarter than we ever did on Indiegogo. Well, I shouldn't say that. We've made probably as much money on Kickstarter as we have on Indiegogo. And some of those are with successful campaigns, but you can still create products with an unsuccessful campaign. You can just kind of scale down or do a portion of it or do an alternative version of a project with some of the crowdfunding. So we'll talk about those strategies and answer any questions that people might have about crowdfunding, and then how that's different than the Patreon that we've got going at the bottom of the screen down there, where it says thanks to our Patreon folks, the people that subscribe to our channel, to our projects, that make it possible for us to spend the time like this. When I'll go offline here and spend a couple hours working on Minuteman tonight, I'm able to do that because we have Patreons. They essentially get together and everybody buys me a cup of coffee. Some people are buying me lunch once a month, and all that adds up, and it pays enough bills that I can spend some time on this stuff. It's not paying all the bills, so stay tuned. There's probably going to be, well, there will be some commercials one way or the other. But I'll try to do those in an interesting way. But we do have to get some funding. It is not possible to do this stuff completely free. We don't live in communism. But tomorrow we'll talk about crowdfunding with Clover. Then tomorrow night we'll talk about Second Amendment stuff. Tuesday's our Second Amendment day on the Daily Gun Show. If you have Second Amendment topics, bring them. Otherwise, we're going to do a little bit more deep dive, maybe into whatever I'm able to update tonight over on the Minuteman University site. Then on Wednesday during the day, 4 p.m., so 7 p.m., 4 p.m. here, 6 p.m. Eastern, we'll be doing a Second Amendment, the Arizona Second Amendment rally wrap up. So we're going to look back at the rally that happened this last weekend with Cheryl Todd and Tony Simon. Cheryl helped put the whole rally together, and Tony traveled from New Jersey to attend and speak at the rally. And both of them did a great, the rally was a great job. Cheryl also is you call it a host or an MC, whatever you call it, when somebody hosts is the narrator or whatever of the event. And just a great, really good event. So we're going to have a Daily Gun Show extra on Wednesday for that. And I haven't posted the Wednesday show, but then we got the Wednesday show, of course. So tomorrow is Tuesday. We're going to recommend checking out Cape Gunworks. The Rapid Fire Radio team does the 2A Tuesday segment of the Grace Curley Show each Tuesday on the Grace Curley Show, which is a big radio show out of Boston, from what I understand. And every Tuesday they spend 45 minutes with Cape Gunworks talking about Second Amendment issues, and people call in and they simulcast that on YouTube while they're on that show. and it's a lot of fun. And they pay attention to the comments that are happening, and during the commercials, they're interacting with the people that are watching live, and we kind of wager on how many calls are going to come in. So it's a pretty fun thing in the afternoon. That's at 2 p.m. Eastern, I'm pretty sure. Then we've got Ghost does his show tomorrow. So I forget what the topic is. How to load a magazine or something. And then tomorrow night, Hit or Miss is sometimes on. You've got Barbecue does his ripoff of this show. It's like a fake dollar store version of this show. But, sometimes it's worth watching. Sometimes. And then we'll be back tomorrow, and we'll be talking about Second Amendment stuff. So again, if you've got topics or ideas, feel free to leave them in there. That's where our topics came up for tonight from people that suggested them. Thanks again for joining us live. And we haven't had a lot of comments here towards the end, but I understand a lot of people are either falling asleep. Are either falling asleep, at work, or driving. Or you're listening to this tomorrow, and it's really difficult for you to comment tonight when you're listening tomorrow. So we do know that most of the people are listening to this the next day, but I insist on doing the show in the middle of the night because I want to be able to go all night long. So thanks again to those Patreons. There are, every once in a while, a new person will jump onto Patreon, and although a trickle of new people here and there isn't going to pay the bills, it is a lot of it is appreciated. It is great for the what do you call it, like when you're sitting there wondering if it's worth doing this again, or if it's worth continuing to put effort into this, seeing people jump on, even if it's just for $5 a month, and that if they stick around for a year, that's $60. It's not like it's a ton of money, but again, if we can get enough people to think that it's worth the time and effort, then we're able to do this with even more, with even more resources. So thanks again for joining us and leaving comments and being part of the show. Thanks to Susan for being on the ground in Missouri this week. I know the Minnesota people are having some issues right now. I believe Connecticut, I don't know where that's at, but I know they were getting whooped on. I don't think there's anything happening in Massachusetts, but where was the other one? Rhode Island? No, not Rhode Island. New Hampshire? Something, one of those states with 2 words in it back east was also getting wailed on. So we'll dig into that stuff tomorrow. If you've got some more specifics or questions, let us know, and we'll dig into that stuff tomorrow. We'll have a quick commercial here at the end for the robot. Thanks to Foss, who does a Wednesday night show each week and a overnight show on Saturday nights every other week. He made these intros, or whatever you call these, like promos for the robot project. Thanks for that. Now, this one I got from government footage. The following drone footage was obtained from Freedom of Information Act documents from our federal government. What we see here is a sewing machine robot casually leaving a dollar store. The question here is, why is it even legal for robots to be able to go to dollar stores? When questioned in the parking lot, the sewing machine robot evaded all questions and eventually ran across the parking lot. We ask you, should this be legal? Help us to raise funds to secure a sewing machine robot of our own for more research. You be the judge.
We're 16% of the way there, and we've got a little more than a week to go. Help us grab a new robot for our Gear Website Studios. Thanks for watching.
in the link to the robot project. Thanks to the people that are on board, we're already to the point where we are buying one of the old robots or one of the old sewing machines if necessary. Like if we don't get funded, we'll definitely be buying one of the old machines, a new version. Oh shit, we're way funded. So we're definitely buying a new version of the old machine if necessary. So we will be making new patches no matter what. Now it's just a matter of if we're buying Allen Anker's 15 color machine or if we're sticking with the old $1,000 machine. But we're already funded to where we're getting the replacement machine and we're getting a run of patches. So we got 29 backers on there right now. We're at 21%. We've got 7 days left. And, you know, with projects like this, we'll talk about this tomorrow with Clover. With projects like this one, though, it's kind of like, man, I don't know how to explain it. It's sort of like a race or something. It's just because you've got to pace yourself. It doesn't get won on the first lap. And if you're not pacing it, you're not active, then you're never going to win on the last lap either. So, excuse me. So there's a lot going on. So yeah, thanks to the people who are participating and the people that are sharing that around. That's how these things work. You never know. Somebody might understand what we've done in the past with our machines, or they might just be interested to see, or who knows what people are interested in. So you never know. And we only need 140 people on the planet to get on board with this thing. We've already got 30 of them. So we're getting there pretty quick. Not quick, but we're getting there, and it's looking like it could be funded. So thanks to everybody who's participating. We'll chat. Oh, I guess it should have been screen sharing sometime. We're up to 29 backers and 21%. So thanks again to everybody who's helping to get the word out on that. And oh wait, what did I see? Check out your channel if you got a new sub. Oh yeah. So yeah, Hillbilly does a show on Saturdays. You might want to check out. Having some fun on Saturday afternoons, but you also do other things. So actually, we've got a whole bunch of Missouri people in. We'll have to do a Missouri focus show one of these nights. My van's from Missouri, so I've got a fondness in my heart for Missouri. That's where all the Chevy vans are made. We've been there quite a few times, actually, to see the Chevy van factory. So since there's so many people from Missouri, if anybody knows how to get us into that Wentzville plant, I used to know a guy who could have got me into the Wentzville plant, but he refused to get me in there just because he was scared to lose his job or whatever. But if anybody can get me in there to get some cool video of where the vans are born, I'm definitely interested. Or if somebody can, if they got like a blemished van discount place where you get vans for pennies on the dollar, hook me up. All right, well, with that, we're ending it for sure now. Find the right part.